Yeah, there has to be. They need to have that chemistry. This was what City did when they didn't have a striker. It was all on cutback, and that has Raheem Sterling got a lot of the goals that he scored. Or either somebody makes run the second post or cut back. The first three players run, then the deep later into the box, like Lampard used to do, gets you the goal. But those opportunities came a lot of times today, but there was just no cohesion, no understanding, there was no chemistry.
Watch Transit TV right now.
I'm Mikel. Keep watching Transit TV.
Transit TV back again. Arsenal 2, Fulham 1. Fulham have become trying to become a bogey team for Arsenal in recent seasons. The last 3 meetings, no win for Arsenal, draw 2 and lose 1. And today they picked up 3 maximum points. We're going to go straight into this one and look at the few things we learned out of this one, from the attitude and the energy, the very lackluster approach by Arsenal in the first half, to unintelligent runs and bad position in the 18-yard box and attitude towards scoring goals. We also look at the Fulham strategy of compacting the midfield and 9 Arsenal space. And of course, we are also going to look at the star boy back and better back and delivers as well, and shows his teammate what they've been missing and what they did wrongly, especially in the first half. And obviously, we're going to talk about injuries and the summer for Arsenal. Before we start this one, the question you ask yourself: can you imagine what would have happened if Saka did not score the second goal? Arsenal probably would have ended this game in a draw. Just imagine what that would have meant for this season. Yes, before we go ahead and digest this one, don't forget to subscribe if you have not done so. Hit the like button, and as we go into this one quickly to see a few things we learned. Arsenal 2, Fulham 1. The first thing, I was watching that game, first half was very, very lackadaisical. The energy was wrong from these players. Odegaard and a few of them were having misplaced passes all around the pitch. It was just looking like they had given up. Yeah, I know many say the league is done, and if you look at it, they say it's done, but it's not done until it's done. That is what they say in football. And you are a professional. You are paid to play football and entertain the fans and make the fans feel good. You don't come into a game looking like the game is already lost or is not needed. I know all minds are on the Real Madrid game, but still you have to do what you got to do. And the only thing you can remember in the first half was just that goal by Moreno, which had a huge element of luck in it. Though one would say if he did not make the effort, of course the deflation will not favor him. They say, Saka always says, if you don't shoot, you don't score, according to his grassroots coach. Yeah, so Moreno gets that goal for Arsenal and, releases the tension for Arsenal. And that was about it in the first half until the second half. And obviously continued as well, but it was a little better. Martinelli was the only light for Arsenal, which takes us into the second point in this game. The runs that Arsenal front players make. I mean, if you're not playing with a point man, if you are not playing with a striker, then you have to understand first and second runs. When your teammate is going to the byline. Martinelli made those runs so many times in this game, but the Arsenal players, so many times nobody is in the box, and when they go, they don't go all the way. Then the cutback, it looks like the person that with the ball, Martinelli most of the time doesn't know, or they never trained about cutback. He still tries to squeeze the ball in between the Fulham. The one that really annoyed me most was when Timber manufactured a very, very sumptuous cross from the right wing, and there was nobody there, not even one Arsenal player anticipated that. They were all standing, and this happened so many times in this game. And in the games behind, before, Arsenal players would just, it looks like they're standing and expecting the player on the ball to just do something and score. There was no movement. The movements were all until they get into the box. Then it becomes static. And this is what happens when you have a lot of players who don't have the instinct of scoring goals, which was what Saka came in and showed them. Yeah, it was very, very annoying today. And these are the things that happen. You end up losing the game and people think that the team is bad. They play well up until that point. I think Arteta needs to, the season will still have about 8 games to go, or 8 games to go for the Champions League. They need to work on that. You don't have a striker right now, so how do we score goals? Yeah, there has to be. They need to have that chemistry. This was what City did when they didn't have a striker. It was all on cutback, and that has Raheem Sterling got a lot of the goals that he scored. Or either somebody makes run the second post or cut back. The first 3 players run, then the deep late run to the box like Lampard used to do, gets you the goal. But those opportunities came a lot of times today, but there was just no cohesion, no understanding. There was no chemistry with regards to where the ball is going to be played and who is going to take it and what the runs was going to, make. And that takes us into the third point in this game. Fulham has been, this season, they've been a very good team. Not just this season, for the past 2-3 seasons now that Silva has come into that team, has really made them a team that you have to worry, scratch your head to figure out how to, win them. They lost their quarterfinals of the FA Cup last weekend narrowly, and against. So they came into this one. It looked like they respected Arsenal a lot, even bit. If you were listening to Silva before the game, his pre-game interview, he was talking so much about physicality. And that's how he prepared this game. Put a lot of players in the midfield, about 5 midfielders. But some had declarized Thomas Partey and Odegaard still managed to, have the upper hand. Though they didn't do a lot of forward passes, but they still had control of the game for the large spans of that game. Yeah, but the one that really surprised me was when Silva made his substitutions and William, of all people, was put in the midfield. And you can remember that's how the second half became a little bit easier for Arsenal, because of course William doesn't have the physicality to match what Arsenal brings. And once Saka comes in, that Robinson is not going to be able to go forward or join, because he's going to pin him down there, because if he leaves Saka, he does what he normally does and he still managed to do it. So, and that is where the problem of Fulham started, and they couldn't really come forward. Of course, Muniz with his runs had glorious chance to score earlier on before he got the second one, and then scored through deflection from a very big ricochet from Saliba. Yeah, I don't think Fulham are confident coming to this game today. I can't explain it. I don't know why Silva was a little bit he wasn't brave today. You could see so many times almost all Fulham players were back in their box or in the half of their half trying to defend Arsenal. I don't know why he did that, but he didn't just work for them today. The big talking point of the game, the star boys Bukayo Saka back into the team and back with a goal, showing his teammates how to score goals, how to have the instant and the right place to stand. At the execution of that goal, it looks easy in the eye. But what you ask yourself is that Arsenal has been in that position so many times in that game and nobody scored, because a lot of the time there was nobody at the back post. And that's what I'm talking about. When you have your player running at the defenders and there's a possibility of a square play, they are supposed to be runs. Those days in grass of the academy player, they train you on this. The first ones, some people run to the first post, some people wait for the cutback, and another person runs to the second post. And Saka was just there because he knows that this is a possibility in the game, and the ball came to him and he just stuck it into the net and got his goal. And the celebration was like, hey, what can I do? I'm back. So one will believe that and this tells you what Arsenal has missed in the young man. And again, talking about his impact in the game, there was a cross that he made as well. All game, Arsenal had tried to, Martinelli, all these people, Odegaard, tried to make a lot of crosses, and none of them were as good as what Saka did. Even at the very, very strong pressure from Robinson, he still managed to pick out Martinelli on the second post with that cross. So yeah, this is the quality of Saka and what Arsenal has missed. You cannot quantify it. And right now, I'm sure Madrid, if they won this game today, they know that this is going to be a different Arsenal with a fully fit Saka. By the time he gets more minutes against Everton on Saturday, then I guess he will be ready for Real Madrid. The last talking point, which is a huge and sad one too, is just how Arsenal players are dropping like flies. Gabriel Magalhaes again today, I believe he's going to be, that's a hamstring, and that's what it is. Obviously, it's out of the Madrid encounter, and I don't know how Arsenal are going to get that done. Already before this game, Ben White was injured in training; he couldn't play today, and the team went down twice. Eventually, was substituted. Nobody knows how serious he is, but Magalhaes looks like he's a hamstring, and it's not going to be, I'm sure, 2-3 weeks before he'll be back. And by that time, the second leg of Madrid had come and gone. And this is huge for Arsenal because of not just this season but the summer as well, because everybody's talking about Arsenal making signings on the top end of the pitch, which is very, very obvious. Arsenal really need a striker. That's what this game today showed. But there's still work to be done around the pitch as well defensively, because the way these players are getting injured, and one thing I know they need this summer is rest. Arsenal players need to have a good summer rest and get ready for next season. Now it's looking like it's not just to sign a striker and the team will be good. No, it looks like there's so much work to be done all around the pitch, and Better has come in, and we'll see what he's going to do. Yeah, Arsenal 2, Fulham 1. Let me know what you think. For you, is it the Saka being back, or are you more worried about the injuries? What do you think? You think Saka coming back is going to give Arsenal a chance against Real Madrid? Let me know what you think in the comment section, and I will see you again next time. Ciao.